Have you ever found yourself really wanting to leave a comment or an explanation as to why a piece of JavaScript or maybe a React component works the way it does, or why you made that particular decision? Maybe you want to leave some documentation for a future developer, or even just your future self. In this video, we're going to talk about how to write comments in JavaScript, TypeScript, and React components. In previous videos, we've learned how to write comments in both HTML and CSS. Let's learn how to write comments in our JavaScript, TypeScript, and React files too. Let's go to the code. The most basic way to leave a comment in a JavaScript file is with a double slash, and then whatever after it is your comment. This kind of comment is only for single lines. If I put something after this, ooh, that's going to actually show up in the code. Or really, we're going to get an error when we try to use this. But this line here is a comment. What happens if you actually need more than one line of comment? They have another syntax for that. It's just like CSS. You just use the asterisks instead. Now, whatever I put in here is going to be there, but if I do more lines, everything inside of those asterisks is still a comment. These same kind of comments also work in TypeScript files. So this is the same function. I just wrote it in TypeScript, and this is a single line. Oh, but nope, that doesn't work. But if I really want multiple lines, I just use that multi-line format. There we go. I can do as much as I want. Notice you can also do spaces. That's possible too. This also works in React components as well. So I can leave a single line comment or a multi-line comment, and I can even put spaces or put them on different lines. And the same thing happens over here in a TypeScript-based React component. I can leave multi-line comments or I can leave single line comments. Doesn't matter, all works the same. There is one other kind of comment that I wanted to make sure you see, and I've seen it used a lot with React components in particular, and it's this. It's called a doc block. You do a slash, a double asterisk, and then anything after this kind of behaves like a multi-line comment, except if I just keep hitting enter, it keeps adding this space, asterisk, space, and this is called a doc block. Many people use these doc blocks to create documentation. For example, you could say like, oh, this is a parameter string, it's a color, and then you can leave some notes about what that means. You can also say this returns, although it returns void because there really doesn't do anything. Many times developers will use doc blocks to create documentation for a function or for a component if they really need to. In React, your component should be simple enough to where you shouldn't need a lot of documentation. Never do this in TypeScript because I don't need to tell you what the parameters are and their types because it's right here up here in the interface. I hope you're finding this video useful. If you are, please hit that like button down there and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. Now let's get back to the code. Are there places where you can put comments or where you can't put comments in JavaScript? If you watch the video on HTML comments or you watch the video on CSS comments, we learned there are places where you can or can't leave comments. And the same is pretty much true for JavaScript. If we want to do a single line comment, we can do it after a line of code. That works just fine. We can do the same thing with a multi-line comment and just leave it on one line if we really want to, or we can boost it down here and go multi-lines if we really want to. However, single line comments don't work before a line of code. Everything after this double slash here counts as a comment. And there's really no way for it to say, hey, I'm done with the comment, like show this code. The only way you'd be able to do that is with a multi-line comment because it knows that this is the end of the comment. Single line comments don't have an end. They just go on for the rest of that entire line. Most of the time when you write a comment, you put it above a line, maybe after a line, something like this. It'd be really rare that you'd put a comment before a line on the same line with that chunk of code. Now that you know how to comment in your JavaScript, TypeScript, and React files, the next question is, should you? Find out if you should or should not comment in any of your files in the next video.